Hi, welcome to this new video. I'm Sonia, one of the co-founders of the Lit community, and I'm here today with Gabriela. Gabriela, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, Sonia. Hi, everyone. I'm Gabriela Encina, licensed psychologist and expat coach. And I've been a psychologist for over 20 years now, working online since 2018, before everyone else was.
Well, I was there before that, but no,
Oh,
it's true. Yeah,
But that's why I winked at you, because we were,
I know.
pioneers in that sense. And yeah, I'm part of the Lit community also. That's why we know each other. And I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you.
And what kind of work are you doing at the moment? What's your specialty, your clients? Who should come to you, or who should we send to you?
Well, I'm specialized on expats, internationals, people living abroad,
Mhm.
people planning to move abroad, or people coming back after living abroad. Everyone who's transitioning into a new country or an old country. I work with women, men, couples, one-on-one sessions and online. And also I offer workshops to companies that work with expats, international, globally mobile, however you want to name people
Mhm.
living abroad and experiencing life abroad.
And you have your own expat and intercultural journey, right? And you work in multiple languages as well. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Mm-hmm. I started my expat journey in 2010.
Mhm.
I moved from Chile. I'm originally from Chile, and I moved to Vienna, Austria. I spoke English before, and I learned German while I was living in Vienna. So I also used those three languages, my native language, Spanish, English, and German, in my session. So I have clients, multilingual clients, that speak those three languages. And yeah, so I moved from Chile to Austria, and then from Austria to Spain, and I'm now based in Valencia in Spain. So I know that's why I chose this niche too, because I know how it is, and there are very particular challenges and experiences that we who experience life abroad know. And so that's why it's easier for me to relate, and the clients that work with me relate to those issues easier. They don't have to explain how it is to move from country to country, from language to language, from friends to friends. So it is already explained, and that makes it easier for them
Mhm.
to work with me.
And so they come to you with struggling with those aspects, or also other topics, or what you find do you work with most, or I don't know, what's your last week been like,
Oh,
Just
okay,
a
let's
random
see.
question. It's not on a list of
Mm-hmm.
questions, but
Okay, so well, yeah, that's a good question, because they come usually, I would say 90% of the time, they come with challenges specific to
Mhm.
expat life, loneliness,
Mhm.
guilt for leaving their parents behind,
Mhm.
or anxiety, social anxiety because of the language, or adapting to a new
Yeah.
culture, uprooting, so those sort of things. But as we dig a little bit deeper into things, we realize that there are very common challenges that are not specifically related to expat life.
Yeah.
Anxiety, burnout, so depressions, those kinds of things. But they are, I would say they are exacerbated by
Mhm.
expat life. And last week, for example, I had a lot of anxiety, social anxiety issues regarding language. And I had one couple, that a multicultural couple, that's
Mhm.
my specialty also. He speaks one language, she speaks another language, and they communicate. The common language is English, so
Mhm.
it makes it even harder
Yeah.
to communicate, right? So that's a very interesting case that I have. So yeah, that was my
It
last
isn't at the
week.
same time, at least it's kind of the same for both, because some of the couples I've worked with, they end up communicating in
Yeah.
one couple's language, and then that also brings its own challenges, right? So it's
Mhm.
interesting how many different, so many
Combinations.
challenges, but
Yeah.
also And it's always about communication, right?
In the end, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so now you've been doing this work for a long time, as you were saying, and you've also traveled while you were doing it. You moved to different countries. What would you recommend to colleagues who are maybe watching and who are thinking of doing this and would like to move abroad or wondering if it's a possibility? Because as the lit community, I know every week we have people contacting us saying, I would love to do this, but I don't think it's possible. And I'm there like, who told you that?
Oh my God. Okay, so wow, that was a bumpy road. And I'm so grateful to lead to the community, to both you and Melissa, and then the whole community. Because that fear, I can relate to that fear, right? So I can't, I'm not able, it's not legal, I'm crossing some boundaries, la la la. And I would say to them, it is possible, do it.
Yeah.
You will figure it out. And if you can't, okay, you can come back, you can always come back home, or well, hopefully. But the experience of taking your business abroad and have a portable business location independent business is amazing. It allows you to experience things both personally and also professionally that you couldn't and wouldn't experience if you stay, especially if you want to try it, right?
Yeah.
And we can say, both of us in different ways, that you can do it. You can find gray areas. You can find some windows, maybe not the big door, but windows that will allow you to do what you love, right?
Oh, yeah, there are definitely solutions. Sometimes you
Yeah.
need to adapt and adjust and change some of the things you're doing or do them in a different way, but there are lots of ways of doing it. But I I always think it's also because you were talking about the challenges your expat clients struggle with. And as someone who has that portable business, it solves some of those problems because you can visit your family or your home country for longer at a time. You don't rely on those few weeks of holidays. You can take your business with you if a family member is sick and you want to be there for longer or something, which is one of those super common expat struggles. We have that possibility, right? We have the option of taking our business somewhere and still doing the work, and we don't have to take time out, and we don't have to combine visiting home, getting all the medical checkups or similar, plus
Yeah.
holidays. Like we
Yeah.
can separate those things much
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
by working when we work. I think that's, for me, it's one of the
Yeah.
big advantages.
Yeah, absolutely. And more people, compared to when we began
Yeah.
to work online, are used to it. And it's very normalized in comparison to 5 or even
Oh yeah.
10 years ago. So it's easier to get clients that way.
Yes.
So if
The
you're like
pandemic definitely helped.
and especially, well, it depends on the niche, but international people that are working in different countries, or expats, or digital nomads, are that kind of clientele. So there are a lot of people waiting for people like us, and whatever who's watching, colleagues who are watching, to help them, because the more that we can relate to them, maybe not specifically or specialized, but we understand that living too, right? So it helps us to our marketing or branding and whatever that is. That is, yeah.
We've mentioned the community a couple of times. I think in terms of what we recommend to colleagues, we definitely, I don't necessarily say you all have to join a lit community. I mean, obviously you should, but that's not what I'm saying. But I think starting that kind of business and that kind of lifestyle, especially if you start them both at the same time or you try to combine them, it can be very challenging and very lonely. And so making sure that you're not alone, the thing we do with our clients, right? Make sure that we ourselves also have that network, that there are so many colleagues doing this type of work, but because we are spread out all over the world, they're not necessarily in the office next to you, right? Most of us work from home, so they're definitely not in the bedroom next to us, right?
No.
So, which is one of the reasons why we created the community at the time. But I think that kind of feeling of not being alone and that support is so important. Now, you were one of the first people who joined us originally when we opened the community. So you've been with us for over 4 years now.
Yes.
Such a long
Amazing.
time.
Amazing. Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the community?
Well, It has varied a little bit because when you started, and then I came, and a lot of us came, we were in the pandemic, right? So it
Yes.
was starting, so it was a different
So for those who don't
environment.
know, we launched in February 1st, 2020. We launched the community for people who want to travel and work online. The travel aspect kind of, yeah.
But it was very, very good for me because we had a lot of time
Yeah.
to do, and we were craving connection, and we couldn't offline, so we had this community. So the timing was perfect actually for the members. Maybe not
Mhm.
for you that much, but for the members who were there, because we were able to support each other through these challenging times. So my favorite part in that time was that we had a lot of supervisions, we had a lot of movie clubs and
Yeah.
book clubs, and la la. Now it has changed because we are also very busy outside, like offline. But I would say still that you can ask anything,
Mhm.
and it's not like, duh, why are you asking that? There's always someone who has an answer to your duh question, you know? So we are all kind of in the same boat. So it's very, very relieving, in pre-relieving, if you may, to think that there is someone there who understands your lifestyle and will be able to give you an answer, or to refer you to someone who has the answer. From marketing to all our work, like clinical work or online work, there's always someone to give an answer, and that's very, very good.
Yeah, my personal favorite is definitely the supervision for my work.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously, I'm also leading the community, so I have a different role, but that exchange with colleagues from different countries, from different
Mm.
professional backgrounds, talking about an issue, something just in general, that diversity really is so helpful, especially when I compare to who I was doing these type of things with before, where it was
Mm.
always, in a city with the same type of training, with the same, like we tend to be very in our group, in our
Mm.
subgroups as therapists. And opening that up for me has definitely been one of the biggest advantages of
Yeah.
networking with colleagues. And yeah, and I got to meet you. And
Yeah.
I believe we realized recently that we're going to be attending the same online training soon. And so we can be training buddies long distance while we
Accountability training buddies. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly things like that. No,
Mm.
it's anything else you would like to say, or you would like to, people watching this would like to know about you or your work or anything else? Mm.
Sorry. Um, well, that what? It's a good question. What should they know? They have to know that for this kind of job, you need to train your flexibility muscle
Mhm.
and your patience muscle. Those are two muscles that were very not trained for
Mhm.
me before. That I would say that is very, very important. But once you are able to train them, it opens a world of possibilities for you.
And that applies
Um,
both to colleagues as well as to expat clients, I would say, very much so.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That I love my niche. I love to work with international people. I really think that we have a view perspective, a world view perspective that non-expats don't have. As I said, this flexibility that we acquire during our lifestyle, it's very, very unique, and I love that. I work with, as I said before, I work with individuals, with couples, with men, with women,
Yeah.
with companies as well.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
tell us a bit
so
more about your workshops.
yeah, I work with international companies or people or companies with expat employees, and I usually offer two or three workshops
Mhm.
focused on anxiety, loneliness, and burnout
Mhm.
for to prevent those. Uh,
How to burn out and be
how
more
to burn
anxious
out?
as
Yeah,
an
in three
anxious as an
steps. Exactly.
I actually wrote
Uh,
a blog post like that once. 5 steps to burnout or something like that.
It's like a paradoxical
Yeah.
intervention, right? I love that. So there are a lot of companies, thank God,
Yeah.
realizing how important it is to invest in their expats, globally mobile employees, mental health, because that reduces the absenteeism
Mhm.
and increases the motivation, because we have a lot of things going on in the back of our heads while we're working in a company, right? So it's
Mhm.
important to address those challenges. And I
Yeah.
really, really, really love to work with people, not as mental health aware as
Mhm.
the people that come to us, right?
Mhm.
Willingly to
Yeah.
our online practice. So it's really interesting to tackle those challenges or those people, those perspectives too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like you have a very nice setup with a very nice mix of different things you do, which
Mm-hmm.
I personally love as well. I think it's nice to not just be doing one type of thing.
Yeah.
And it just opens up our horizon and gives us new experiences and
Absolutely. It never
allows you to
gets
travel
boring.
for work as well, because you get to
Yeah.
travel to do your workshops and don't have to
And
work
get
from home
paid.
all the time.
Exactly. Get paid for I think that's also good.
Um,
Mhm.
well, it was lovely seeing you, Gabriela. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
you
for
too,
sharing
Sonia.
with us. And if anyone who's watching this has any questions, we will link Gabriela's website and socials under the video. And if you have any questions, just comment under the video or reach out and go talk to Gabriela about all your expat challenges and needs. And if you work for a company that might need a workshop like that, maybe go talk to the people who've got the money and make sure you hire her. It is
Yes.
really so important and a huge economic factor, really.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually what works for companies, right? Is to explain
Absolutely.
the money
Mm-hmm.
side of it. It's not just a feeling better. It actually has a huge monetary impact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Thank you,
thank you
Sonia.
very much.
See you. Ciao.